So, very disappointing result tonight. Arsenal have lost yet another home game. This time it is to Everton. For the first time, they have done the double over us since Kenny Ken was there in 85-86. First time they've beaten us at home since 96. Let's just get straight into it. We lost 1-0 and the goalkeeper... oh dear, Kenny, let's just go with Leno. Let's just start the ball rolling.
He only had one job. We were comfortable. No problems. This is when the keepers got their most alert, when they got virtually nothing to do. Because their lack of concentration could turn a win into a draw or a draw into a defeat. It was a boring 0-0. Both teams were very compact. Both teams were very slow in the attack. He goes and gives a goal. I can only give him 4. 3. Sorry. Simple. It cost us the game. Direct mistake cost the game.
Calum Chambers, again, back in the team. Could have scored. He shanked one into the ground.
Very pleased with Calum. Very, very pleased with Calum, because Calum gives us a bit of genuine attacking impetus on the right back, other than the other fella. So I'm going to give Calum 6.
Yeah, he's somebody who overlaps, which is something we haven't had all season. Let's go to the other side. Me and you were talking throughout the game about Granit Xhaka's performance, and we mentioned that he never overlaps. He doesn't cross the halfway line. He did do it once tonight, but he didn't overlap. He underlapped, and then he was out of position because we gave the ball away. What did you make of him, man? Obviously, Richarlison spun it on a
last time when I checked the comments, I got criticised because a few other fan camps decided to give Granit Xhaka high marks. Well, I'm sorry, if you play someone at left back and you're at home, then I expect overloads in attacking areas. I expect teams to be stretched, especially when it's packed in midfield from down the middle. I expect my left back to get down the byline and make space for my left winger, which for today was Pepe. He did do that, and then in third goal, absolutely amateurish, and that shows why you should never ever play him at left back. It's not working. It's not workable. Granit Xhaka, I'm going to give you a 3.
Let's go.
Direct mistake cost a goal.
Let's go to Rob Holden.
Rob Holden, fair. Didn't do too badly. I thought he was. He was positive. He was aggressive in the way he played. I'm going to give him a 6.
Next to him, again, another centre-back pairing change-up, because we can't seem to play the same centre-backs together for some reason. Pablo Mari back in the team.
Very happy with him today. Very happy with him. He knows positionally he's very good. He worked hard. He saved us from a certain chance when he did good defensive marking on Calvert-Lewin. And I like that kind of defending. I'm going to give him a 7 today.
Yeah, I think he's probably, after David Luiz, who I know I don't particularly rate him, and I know you don't particularly rate him, but we give credit where it's due and we critique where we have to. David Luiz has probably been our best centre-back this season, but Pablo Mari...
Without a shadow of doubt.
Pablo Mari, despite not playing as many matches, every time we've seen him pretty much in an Arsenal shirt, he's been pretty good, hasn't he? Which makes me wonder why he don't play more.
Well, it just shows you when David Luiz doesn't play in centre half, we struggle. And I'm not just saying defensively, but we struggle in terms of changing the tempo of how we play, because of his long passes and his ability to walk out with the ball out of defence and do it. And he's not only a defender, but he's a very good footballer. We missed that big time.
Let's move into midfield. Somebody that I've been very scathing of. That I think since Granit Xhaka has not been in midfield with him, I actually think he's played all right recently, and that's Dani Ceballos. What did you make of him?
I like Danny's performance. He did try to open that door. He's very industrious, demanded the ball as well. I was happy with Danny. I'll give it to Danny. I'm going to give him, for trying to attack, I'm going to give him 7.
Next to him, and big up to Arsenal Football Club as well. Our dear friend, RIP to him. He was looking down tonight. He was probably loving life at the protests after this week.
And he got in the programme as well.
And he got in the programme. Classy touch from Arsenal Football Club, by the way, because it's a club that we've both been very critical of over the years. But that was a really nice touch. And tonight, and I remember his last fan cam on the channel. He said the title of that fan cam was "Thomas Partey would be better off playing at Twickenham." I think against that we proved that, innit?
Well, the thing is, you know what? I think he's been. I thought today he worked his nuts off, and he actually played quite well. He wasn't giving the ball away. He used his tempo, and he did try to break up the play. And he was solid. I thought it was a good performance. So I'm going to give him, in terms of, I'll give him a 6. But I was happy. I was pleased with him. Very pleased.
Let's move to right wing, Bukayo Saka, somebody that I've said, and I think you said it the other week as well, that I think we've overplayed him a little bit and he needs a rest. We've got a massive game coming up on Thursday in the Cup semi-final against Villarreal, our old manager. Tonight, industrious for me personally. I think he looks all right, but we again were speaking about him during the first half. He weren't tracking back. He weren't chasing Digne. What did you make of him overall? We didn't speak much, and I don't think we spoke in the second half, but the first half, he tried. But trying, does that get you a good mark, Kenny?
The thing about Saka is that, again, he's heavy. Our manager heavily relies on him. It's like, I know I sound like an old fogey, but, rewind back 30 years ago, Lee Sharp. He reminds me of Lee Sharp before Man United started winning the title, where because Lee Sharp had a lot of pace and he gave him width on the left-hand side, he had to play. So it was a case of give Lee Sharp the ball when he wins us a game. Well, Bukayo Saka's very much our Lee Sharp. Every game he has to play because simple reasons that we can't get teams on the back foot. We can't turn teams and can't get beyond teams without him in the side, because it's not just the fact that he'll get on the byline, he'll cross with both feet. It's because he actually runs at teams and he gets defenders on their heels. Defenders don't like defending on their heels or going like that. They like defending when they've got 2 feet on the ground, because what's happened, they can say they like players running at them. And I think Bukayo was like a bit of a liability in the first half because I think he left Chambers exposed and Digne were using his indiscipline to get down the right hand side. But to me, I've got to say it was a 5 for me. Struggled.
Opposite side, Nicola Pepe ended up about to take a penalty, and then the ghost of the ghost of Pepe in a former life was offside, apparently. What did you make of the offside? Did you think it was offside? And secondly, what did you make of his performance? No shot on target tonight.
Yeah, it was offside. From the angle, the way it was offside, because the simple reason is that we were getting. We've had loads of decisions where it's been given offside, so I'm kind of used to it not giving offside, as opposed to Richarlison's assist for Leno's own goal. That was onside, blatantly onside. You could actually see the sort of divisions. But in terms of his performance, he worked his nuts off, but he wasn't helped by Granit Xhaka. I don't care what anyone says. If
you ain't got an overlapping fullback, you finished as a left wing.
Forget it, mate. Forget it. There's no space for you. That's one of Chris's Granit Xhaka, but lack of ability to overlap gave Seamus Coleman and Mason Holgate an easy game. I'm sorry, and Pepe today, I can't give anything more than a 5. I'm sorry.
Up front, somebody who started his first game in the calendar year, barely seen him, been in and out of squads, been in the under 23s, not even trained with the first team at times in the last couple of months, 3-4 months. All of a sudden, he scored against Fulham, celebrated like he'd won the Champions League, and now he gets his first start of 2021. What did you make of Nketiah tonight?
Struggled. I think one thing about it is that I love his attitude. I like the way he comes out. He comes out with, tries to commit defenders, tries to make the right runs. He makes the right runs. It's only what's happened is that when he doesn't get the support of the service, it's very easy to mark him out of the game. And I think second half he faded. And for endeavour, I'll give him a 5, but I can't give him anything higher. You know what I mean?
Substitutes. Let's go to.
You forgot Smith Rowe.
Oh, sorry, I did forget Smith Rowe. See, this is why I shouldn't drink Stella, bruv. At midnight into Saturday. Smith Rowe.
Smith Rowe struggled. He didn't have movement. Everton basically what's happened. Everton got their tactics right against Smith Rowe. Basically gave him no room. Because normally with Smith Rowe, he only needs one touch, boom, makes a pass. There was no one for him to pass to, because that when Ancelotti got packed his midfield, they made sure there was no way he was going to play through the middle, and then he going to make sure that because we weren't doing overlaps, especially down the left-hand side, there was no way for him to play his crossfield passes as well. So they negated him very well. I think it's a 5. He struggled for me.
Let's move on to substitutes. Obviously, he waited for a very long time to make the substitutes. 73rd or 74th minute, he made a double change. Gabriel Martinelli didn't really impact the game.
Well, like I said, he brought a save out in the 90th minute from Pickford, and he does bring energy in the side. I think you loved that. You know, it was a good, nice little camera. I'm going to give him a 6 because he did try to change the tempo and did. You know, like I said, try and get behind the defence.
Martin Odegaard?
Couldn't get in the game. I'll give him a 5.
Last but by no means least for the player personnel, Willian. We needed a goal. He brings on a player who's had two shots. You don't think
Willian is direct. He's direct, and he tried to get his. He tried to put his cross thing. You can't say he had a poor game when he actually tried to invent his game. I can't give Martinelli 6 out of 10. And not give Willian the same mark when Willian was the one trying to get in the ball and trying to put the crosses in and try to change the tempo of the game. He's got to have a 6 as well because
listen. Me personally, I think you've given him a higher mark than I would have given him. But listen, Kenny, it's your player rating, so I'm not going to argue. Let's move to the manager. Before the game, obviously the protest was happening outside. You could hear it. You could hear the helicopter circling when Jeff Shreves was interviewing him. And he asked him, is this going to have a negative impact on the team? The manager's words, I know you've watched it. Yeah, the manager's words were, yeah, it's not great when you're protesting on a game day and blah, 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 blah. I haven't seen the post-match interviews because obviously I've been doing the fan cams. I did the after show, the video call.
Well, I think he was complaining. I think he was. It was VAR. He was upset with VAR and the the decision not to award the penalty because of the offside. Because we won the VAR situation over getting the penalty.
Did you think it was a penalty?
Well, he's kicked his shin. If he's kicked his shin and there's contact and he's gone down, yes. I always say to him,
he made a meal of it, but it was a penalty, innit?
Yeah, my rule is if you don't want to give away a penalty, don't touch him.
Don't touch him. Yeah. What did you make of Arteta overall? Obviously, like I said, he left the substitutes until 73, 74 minutes, and
nothing wrong with that. My issue no substitutions. Well, yeah, is his team selections in terms of who he chose at centre forward. I've got an issue with that. Also, the way we play. I'm sorry, but if you're going to play, if you're going to make yourself so compact that you actually weaken your attack, and you have no width from your left backs, I'm sorry. What will happen is that in tight games, all the opposition needs is a bit of luck, and you'll lose tight games. Now, if you're having tight games and you're on the front foot, it's more than likely because you're on the front foot and you're creating pressure and chances, you may nick a game. We can't nick games because our manager is trying too hard to negate the opposition's strengths. He's confusing his players, and what's happened is that he's basically relied on one player to give him some sort of creativity in Saka. And when it don't work, at goal. For me, 3. If he's going to continue to play Granit Xhaka at left back, then we're going to have huge impact on our results. Yeah. And I'm going to give him low marks. Simple.
Let's end it on the fans. Obviously, me and you were both very shocked, as we've said, at the turnout. Big up to everyone who went to protest. We've been on protest. We've held the Cronky out banner out. We've held that. That's been circulating this week. We were both holding that.
5 years ago, yes.
Was it that long ago? Jesus Christ, my forehead weren't so big, Kenny. Yeah, your arms probably weren't so big either. But we've both been there, done it. We've done it with Wenger. We probably both were a little bit naive and underestimated the power of this fan base locally because of them protests, the Wenger protests. But I think everyone's singing from the same hymn sheet. Nobody wants this owner in, which is why I think it took off. And I think the owners, if anything tonight, would have realised, oh my God, Arsenal are a massive fucking institutional football club and they ain't having it. They would have woke up to that at least tonight. Yes, there'll be a lot of them back in the ground next season with their tickets and their shirts, but that is an eye-opener to them tonight. What did you make of that Give a rating for the protest, because I know you said in your fan cam that it was a very well organised protest. But give a result, give a mark for it.
For the fans, 10 out of 10, because simple reason, they did what they said they were going to do. They were organised and they mobilised themselves, and the numbers were very, very impressive. But that's what happens is that, you know, local fans made themselves heard. And what's happened is that what I liked as well is that fans were abroad. They said, if we cannot be there in person, we're going to back you. But one thing is, I really should take half a mark off, because I didn't like the burning of the American flag, because a national flag is sacrosanct. The greatest respect you can have to give to another person is to respect their national flag. I didn't like that. So I'm tempted to take a mark off for the fans. But in terms of mobilisation, great thing. And you made your voices heard, and you actually think. Now, the end result is irrelevant, because we can only mark you on what you did today. So 10 out of 10 for the fans.
Yeah, brilliant, Kenny. Listen, thanks for coming on. I know it's really late as well. It's gone midnight here. Thanks very much, man. We'll catch up soon. Podcast tomorrow, 4 p.m. Make sure you tune in.
See you later.
Yeah, top man. Thank you, mate.